Hi, I'm Jerry James Stone and happy Meatless Monday. So I'm super excited about today's recipe because one, it's delicious. It's this pumpkin polenta with these braised carrots, and it's just, the polenta is creamy and wonderful and the carrots are just tender. It's a really great recipe, but I want to talk a little bit about the Meatless Monday thing. So I've been a vegetarian for a very long time and I don't get too preachy about it, but I'm going to talk a little bit about it. One of the reasons why today is the environment. So a quarter pound of hamburger takes about 449 gallons of water to make that hamburger. 449. That's 11 bathtubs full of water. That's a lot of water for that quarter pound of hamburger. Now, for a pound of vegetables, you need 1/10 the water. So meat requires a lot of water and a lot of energy. It uses about 10 times the energy to just also make those vegetables. So it's really important if you can incorporate eating meat free. If you're a meat eater, if you're a carnivore, omnivore, whatever, if you can incorporate eating meat free into your diet at least somewhat regularly. And here's a really great recipe to do that, this delicious pumpkin polenta. So let me show you how to make it. Okay, so I melted a tablespoon of butter over a medium heat, and now I'm just gonna add in my carrots. And we're just gonna saute these a bit until they just start to get a little bit tender. Just a little bit, not much, because we're gonna braise them. So you don't have to overcook them, but you just wanna cook them over a medium to medium high heat and get them a little bit tender. They should just start to sizzle. Okay, those are cooking up nicely. I love the little trail that the purple carrots leave in the pan there. So you just want to saute these for a couple minutes. Like I said, we just want to get them a little on the tender side. We're going to braise them, which is really going to soften them and make them quite delicious. But braising is a lot more effective if you kind of tenderize the carrots a little bit with a saute first. So just a few more minutes. They're almost ready. Okay, those are looking quite nice. A couple ways to tell when they're ready to go. The colors in the carrots will start to brighten. You'll also start to smell those aromas. So now I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit. And I'm going to add in some vegetable broth. I'm going to add in a couple cloves of garlic and a fresh sprig of thyme, and I'm going to bring this to a boil, or to a simmer. Okay, so that's starting to simmer, so now I'm going to cover it and cook it for about 10 minutes. Okay, let's see how these babies are doing. They're looking pretty good. So when they're ready, they're going to be just really fork tender. Oh yeah, these are good to go. Perfect. So now I'm going to strain out the carrots. Okay, so now I'm just going to bring the liquid to a boil. This is completely optional. I'm going to add in a little flour, and I'm just going to whisk that in just to thicken it up. I think it'll make a really nice sauce to drizzle over the top of the polenta and the carrots. So you don't have to do this, if you're gluten-free, just avoid it. Just going to thicken that up by bringing it to a boil with the flour. Getting all the chunks out. Okay, that's looking quite nice. There we go, yeah. Okay, now let's go finish our dish. Okay, so to make the polenta, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring some water, heat it up, add in a few sage leaves, and then I'm gonna add in some half and half. And this is what we're gonna cook the polenta in. So we're just gonna warm this up until it starts to boil. Okay, so it's starting to boil, so I'm gonna fish out the sage leaves. And now we're going to whisk in our cornmeal to make our polenta. Just do it a little bit at a time. And now we're just going to keep stirring this and cook it for about 30 minutes until it gets nice and thick. It'll start to get denser and denser and be harder to stir. That's how you know it's cooking. Once it calms down a little bit, you don't have to stir it quite as much. You can just let it cook and continue to cook. Looks so good. Okay, this is looking pretty good. Now we're gonna add in our remaining ingredients. We're gonna add in some cheese. Now we're gonna add in our pumpkin, because you can't have pumpkin polenta unless you add the pumpkin. And go ahead and work that in. Now the heat is off, but I'm leaving it on the stove so I can take advantage of the warmth to get these ingredients mixed in. That's looking pretty awesome. I didn't show it to you, but I actually added in salt too. I forgot to show that step. There we go. We have our pumpkin polenta. Let's go top this off with some carrots. Okay, our polenta is ready. Now we're just gonna top it off with some of these delicious braised carrots. How wonderful does that look? I'm gonna add in some of the braising sauce. Top it off with some chopped pine nuts. A few more pine nuts. A little freshly cracked pepper. And then just garnish it with a sage leaf. Enjoy. Okay, so how delicious does that polenta look, right? Super, super tasty, hearty, really filling. Those beautiful roasted carrots, those heirloom carrots. Like, you just can't go wrong with this dish. A wonderful way to celebrate fall, but also a wonderful way to be like kind to the environment. Like I said, meat takes a lot more energy, a lot more water, but also it accounts for like 15% of the greenhouse gases that we produce. So eating more meat-free meals makes everything better. I hope you try this recipe. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. If there's something that you want to see, just drop a comment. Let me know. Let me know what you think of it. Or if you just want to say hi, that works too. I'll see you guys next time.